Welcome back to My Entrepreneurial Journey with Yaritza Báez. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Amy Dave, a wellness coach whose story of resilience and transformation is truly inspiring. She knows firsthand what it's like to feel drained, overwhelmed, and stuck in unhealthy habits. But instead of staying there, she chose to rise like a phoenix and rebuild her life with simple, powerful lifestyle changes. In this episode, we'll talk about the small shifts that lead to big energy, how to bounce back when you fall off track, and what it means to live with vitality so you can show up fully for your family, your business, and yourself. If you have ever felt like you are running on empty, this conversation is for you. Today, I'm joined by Amy Dave, a wellness coach who helps women restore their energy and vitality through simple lifestyle changes. Inspired by her own journey of rising from burnout, she now empowers others to create balance, resilience, and joy in their daily life. Amy, welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you, Yaritza. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. Let's start a little bit with excuse me, a little bit of your story. Your journey really began when you were feeling drained, burnout, and a little bit like I would call it on autopilot. You know, we just keep doing
Yes.
things, but nothing else. Can you take us back to that time? And what was that turning point that made you decide to change?
So I actually felt that in both my personal life and my professional life. So it was like double whammy. So I have been a physician assistant for a long time, 24 years. When I had kids, I became a stay-at-home mom. And I was home for more than 9 years. So, I had 3 kids. We would go to the park. We would read books, building Lego towers. We're doing all the things. And at some point, I was just going through the motions. I was, doing the dishes, making lunch, reading to my kids, but I wasn't present. I wasn't really listening to them. I wasn't engaging. Even with adults, my relationships were very superficial. I wasn't having deep conversations. I wasn't present with anybody. I was just kind of going through life like a zombie. That's exactly how I felt. And then after my kids were older, I went back to work, and on paper, I had the perfect job. It was, close to home. It was part-time. It allowed me flexibility to go to all the school events. The staff was wonderful. We laughed a lot. We had a lot of fun. But I wasn't happy there. And the thing that struck me was the turnover rate in the office was really low. And so people had been there for 10, 15, 20 years, and they were loving it. And I was trying to picture myself there. Like, could I do this for 20 years? And that just wasn't sitting right with me. So I eventually left that job, but it started off as a perfect job, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, I understand because I know people, that they have been doing their same job for like 25 years, and now they are like, oh my God, I just can't wait to retire. But they're afraid of taking the leap and do major changes in their life. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And I have to agree with you, even though like right now I also work. I know for sure that I won't be there like not even 10 years. So I can understand where you're coming from. So you also describe yourself as a phoenix rising from the ashes. And what does that metaphor mean to you in practical everyday terms? If you can give us an example of that.
Sure. So a little backstory. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. And I also went through infertility treatments before I had my kids. So I've had a lot of doctor appointments, a lot of procedures, taken a lot of medication, all the things. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but at some point I started telling my husband that, I feel like a phoenix, which is this, mythical creature that she burns when she gets old, and then she's reborn from her ashes. And I just kind of took that on as my life mantra. So every time I was in the hospital, every time I had a procedure, every time I was on a bunch of medications, I would tell my husband, this is the phoenix getting old. She's going to burn, and she's going to be reborn stronger than she was. So I have brought that into my business also now.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful story that you have shared, because I lost my mom very recently, and it was from cancer. And I can relate to what you are saying with the medications and all of that. And yes, cancer survivors, they're actually, phoenix rising from the ashes. And I could see that. And I have a friend also who could use that same phrase in her case. So now let's talk about a little bit more when it comes to those shifts and habits, and what were the very first simple changes that you start making that, but also have the biggest impact on your energy and your well-being?
So I always thought I was eating healthy and I was exercising, but I wasn't feeling good. I was always exhausted. I had stress, overwhelm. I had a lot of monthly symptoms, every month. And then COVID came. And during that quarantine, I had reduced hours, I was home. Yeah. And I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to heal my own symptoms. So I did a lot of research. I started reading. I started learning about different ways to heal my own body. And I started implementing those changes. So I started with diet, exercise, and getting enough sleep. Those were the three things I started with. And within months, I saw big changes. That was like 4 months. And then after 6-12 months, I saw more mental clarity. I saw more energy. I saw just more passion for life, and it, like an excitement that hadn't been there in a long time.
So I will say that because of the pandemic, it was something that basically, I wouldn't say force you to, but it was like that precise situation or circumstances that actually help you to do that shift. I think it was the best time to realize, like, yeah, I got to make changes, and what better time than doing it right now during the pandemic. So yeah. Yes, I can see that. Yeah. So that's very good. But also I will say that after pandemic, post pandemic, and a lot of people may have women like, in their 40s and 50s, they may have started something like that, like you just have you mentioned, but they may have gone off track, with habits. So what help you build the resilience to bounce back quickly into not staying stuck? What help you stay on track and keep those habits and from those shifts that you made during the pandemic?
So I'm still working on it every day. It was a process. I started small. I started with 1 or 2 changes. And then as I got used to them, I added, one more. I added another one, then something new. And like I said, I'm still doing it today. But I follow, I'm going to call it a 75-25% rule. Mm-hmm. So as long as I'm practicing healthy habits 75% of the time, whether it's in a day or a week or a month or whatever, I'm going to let myself live a little bit for that 25%. I'm not going to have guilt if I have ice cream or dessert, or if I'm at a wedding and I'm eating, foods that are fried and this and that I normally don't eat. I'm not going to take that as a personal failure. Right.
Yeah, so I think that 75 ratio that you are talking about, I think is very good, because that allows women, if they're trying to make those changes, not to get discouraged and just give up. It's like, be happy, just keep trying and just keep it up, and that's something that I should apply even more to myself. Although, like I'm practicing, I play pickleball, I try yoga, I like walking, I like to be very active. And before that, and I was living in the UK, and I used to love going on hikes. I love hiking. So yes, it's not all perfect, but as long as you keep a ratio that is healthy enough and you're happy with, I think that's wonderful. That's a good rule to go by, to live by. So now let's go about, a little bit about your coaching, how you help, and helping women feel energized, efficient, and empowered. What does that transformation look like for your clients? And if you can walk us through that,
Yep.
so they can get a better understanding of how you work with your clients.
Yep. So like I said, I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was exercising, but I still wasn't feeling good. Right. And when I started my research, I learned about this thing called cycle syncing. And I was in my mid 40s. Well, I'm in my mid 40s now. I was in my early 40s when I learned about all this, but it's something I never learned as a physician assistant. Doctors were not taught this. It's kind of an emerging wellness topic. And just real quick, a woman's body goes through 4 phases every month. And you need different nutrients and you need different exercises in each phase. And I was not doing that. I was eating the salads, every week. I was doing cardio every week. There are some weeks where soups and stews and warm foods are better than a salad or a smoothie, right? So it's easy shifts. Like there are some weeks where cardio is better and some weeks where Pilates or strength training is better.
Will you say that what you just said, it could be, you could feel it like by intuition, or is something that you have to learn and to do?
You can definitely feel it intuitively. So if you run every day, right, of the month, some days you're going to feel really good and you're going to be energized, and other days you're going to be like, man, I really don't want to go for this run. But instead of forcing yourself to do it, it's an awareness of recognizing that, no, my body is in a phase where a run is not going to help me. It's going to, harm me. So I might want to do yoga this week, or, maybe tone it down to a brisk walk. So yes, you can learn to do this intuitively, but there are techniques that you can learn to help you get through it until you can trust your intuition.
That's interesting because, and I'm talking from my own experience, and I hear also, to me, it's like you have 2 camps. The ones that say, yes, like your body's and your mind's going to tell you, take it easy this week. Let's just do yoga, not so much the running, and the jogging or something like that. But then I can hear the other camp saying, well, you are committed. If you are supposed to run every day, you get up at 5 if you run in the morning, you get up at 5 every day, no matter what, whether it's winter, if raining, or it's really hot, but you still do it because you are committed, and that's how it's supposed to be. I've never been so much on that side, but I hear that. And
yes,
I have felt that, there's days where I'm like, I don't really feel like going walking today. I feel like I need to sit down, read, or even watch TV. But that's like what my body's asking me to.
Yeah, exactly. So if you think about it, medical research and exercise research, everything is based on men.
Yes.
Because
true.
The scientists decided that the women's hormones were too complicated and they didn't want to deal with it, right? So a man has a 24-hour clock like we do, right? But that's all they have. So their hormones shift in a 24-hour cycle. So they have energy at certain times of the day. You're supposed to eat at certain times of the day. You're more social at certain times of the day. And for women, we have this monthly clock also that has not been studied. And so that's where the intuition plus the science comes in as a mix.
Okay. So I will, if you have a client, how will you, who has similar problems as the ones we have been talking about, how will you lead that transformation? What will so people have a better understanding of your coaching style and what they will can expect from your working with you?
Yeah. So I take it very slow, one step at a time. I'm not going to push you into a strict diet, regimen or an exercise regimen that you have to do every day. You have to eat so many calories. You have to do this. You have to do that. I'm going to ask you, where are you? Where are you starting? And what goals you have? And from there, we're going to take it step by step. So I'm working with a client right now. She wants to lose weight. She's postmenopausal. She wants to lose weight for her daughter's wedding. When I initially met her, she was averaging about 3,500 steps per day. And so I said, okay, let's try to hit 4,000 every day this next week. And when she came back for her following week appointment, she was so excited. She's like, I was averaging 5,000 steps a day. And I was like, that's great. So I start with smaller goals for sure, because the bigger the goal, the easier it is to get overwhelmed and the easier it is to quit and fall behind and fall off the wagon and all of those things. So I really take it one step at a time based on what the client is willing to change. So if you're not willing to change your diet yet, but you're willing to go for a walk for 10 minutes a day, great, let's start there. If you want to change the way you're eating, but you don't want to start walking, great, we can work with that too. So it's a very individualized plan that I help clients create.
I like that because you add flexibility when in your coaching. Instead, like a lot of people is like, no, you got to follow this outline, and
Right.
otherwise, you're not going to see the results. And then what happens is sometimes when you work with that is type of a structured person, is that you go in, you start working, but then you get disillusioned and you stop getting the results. And it's not so much because the person wasn't a good coach, but it wasn't a fit for you, for the way
Yeah.
you work with your, with whatever it is that you need to be improving in your life.
Yeah. And you're evolving, right? So every week your goal will change based on how well you did, or if you had some struggles the week before, maybe you didn't hit your goal. So we're not going to change the goal. We're going to keep it the same, and we're going to try something different.
Yeah. And it's not about penalizing people. Oh, you didn't do it. So, and I like very much that style because that's very similar to how I work with my clients. More customized, more tailored to their own needs and where they are at that moment in time. And taking baby steps and work around their own way, their personality, and like that, things like that. So yes,
that's great.
Yeah, I like that. What do you see as the biggest obstacles women face when it comes to prioritizing their own wellness while juggling business, family, and everything else in between?
I think for women, we tend to take care of everybody and everything else, and we save ourselves for last. After the kids go to sleep, I'll do this. After my work is done, I'll go for a run. After this, and you can't always put yourself last, right? You have to fill your own cup before you can give from it. And so I teach my clients that self-care is actually not selfish. It's something you need to do so you can take care of everybody else and everything else, and the work and the house and, all of it.
Yeah, it's true. And it's something that women, we tend to do. We put everybody, well, that's our nature, and we put everybody first. So, and I have gone through that same experience. And some years back, I suffered from burnout, and I learned to put boundaries in that sense. Protect my energy. I think that's is so important because that is what help you to do everything else and be for everybody also. But you have to put that boundary there.
Yeah, I have more energy now than I ever have in my life.
Wow.
So it can happen.
Yeah, it's true. Impressive. For someone who's listening, today and is feeling exhausted or burnout, what's that small shift they can start with right now?
So the first thing is to become aware of what's happening, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. And then there's lots of ways to do it, but journaling is a great way to learn, like, what are my current habits? What are my current exercise habits? So I have clients, when they first come to me, either keep a food diary or an exercise journal. I don't do both together. I can, but one or the other, you can pick one. And I say, don't even change anything. Just for 3 to 4 days, just write down everything you're eating. And then write down why you ate it. Right. And maybe what you felt afterwards. Because a lot of people are, if they're sensitive to dairy or gluten, they don't even realize it until they say, every time, I eat pasta, then I feel bloated later in the day. And so if you're becoming aware of this as a first step, then you can make a change. Because I don't think you can make a change if you're not aware of your starting point.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if I was to do that, the journal, I would do the journal about exercise rather than food. Although I don't eat a lot of different things. I try to keep quite a healthy way of eating. But yeah, I will be much better about the exercise journaling than the food one.
Yeah, and that's how we customize it, right? Like, some people want to reduce their stress first.
Yes.
And that also can improve your health. Some people want to work on their sleep. There's a lot of different ways to approach it.
If someone will say, I really first thing I want to do is to start reducing my stress. What will be the thing that you will recommend I start working with that person?
So I recommend just taking 5 minutes, whether it's meditation or journaling or stretching. Start with 5-minute increments, right? Maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, especially for those women who are saying, I have no time. When am I supposed to do this? You can find 5 minutes, I'm sure, somewhere. So whether you're sitting in silence or you're journaling, or maybe you have some music playing and a candle and you're just kind of sitting in like a Zen state of mind. Again, if you can quiet out some of the distractions that we feel, I think you'll start hearing some real concerns or some dreams, or maybe some new creative projects come out, which sometimes happens to me. I'll just be sitting there and some new idea will pop into my head. I'm like, wow, I don't know where that came from. But I think, again, 5 minutes, and then you can increase the time as you get comfortable to 10 minutes. You could do it 5 minutes once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever works.
From working with clients, has been their reaction when they try at least those 5 minutes of peace, just to call it like that, where whether they sit and listen to music or put a candle or something like that. What is their reaction when they start trying that for at least, I don't know, a couple of 3 days a week?
So I recommend that I recommend that they start a timer.
Uh-huh.
And same thing happens to me, right? When I first started doing all this meditation and journaling, I would set the timer. About 2 minutes into the timer, I'm looking at the clock. Oh, it's not time yet. Okay, close my eyes again. Another minute goes by. Oh, it's still not time, right? As you continue to do it, I noticed that first I was looking at the clock. It was like 3 minutes left. Then I was looking at the clock. Then it was like 2 minutes left. Then it was like 5 seconds left. And I'm like, I made it 5 minutes. So then I increased my time to 7 minutes. And the same thing happened by minute 4. I'm like, is it done yet? And I'm like, nope, I still got 3 more minutes. So it's a practice that needs to be established. And it may not happen every day, but if you start doing it on a regular basis, you'll get comfortable with it, and then you'll increase the time as you get better.
Will you say that for you it's now like second nature to do that?
No. So I set my timer at 10 minutes now for journaling or meditation. I do. So before I open my work laptop, I do 10 minutes of journaling, 10 minutes of meditation, and 10 minutes of reading. And I'm still by minute 7, minute 8, I'm still looking at the clock like, nope, I got 2 more minutes. So it's a work in
But
progress.
you do it every day.
Most days, yes. And
Most
it's
days.
again, it's a work in progress. Some days I'm more focused and I can do it. And other days after like 3, 4 minutes, I'm like, no, this is not happening today.
I think it's the same for most people. There are days for I like to journal. I always throw it with meditation, but I really like journaling. And there are weeks where I can write and write, just journal for an hour
Yep.
every day. And then it's like I stop or I go very little because I don't really time myself, but I think I feel intuitively how much when I have to journal and how much I have to brain dump on my journal. So
Yeah.
and it feels good. I that's one of the best things I got to start doing journaling. And at first I struggle also, it was like, wow. But then I never stopped, I kept at it. And now to me, it's essential. I really enjoy journaling. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And it's like you were saying, right? Like I can't just give you a checklist and say, go journal every day.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, right? So for you, journaling for a few weeks at a time, long term, like works. And then you may not see it for a month or so, right? And that's okay.
Yeah. So you are a mom of 3, you're a coach, and someone who has rebuilt herself multiple times. How has your journey influenced the way you show up for your family and friends and clients?
Oh, I'm a completely different person. I am much more present when I'm having conversations with other people. I am not as irritable and angry. I don't yell at my kids and my husband at all. And, as I started healing my own monthly symptoms, which was like cramping, bloating, that kind of stuff, I noticed after 6 or 8 months that my migraines had gone away and my moods were better. And I like all these other changes started coming more than what I ever expected from the initial like 3 or 4 symptoms that I wanted to heal. And, even my kids noticed that. They're like, Mom, you don't yell as often as you used to. I'm really practicing being more present with my family, my friends, in conversations, in relationships. And again, it's a work in progress, but I'm definitely a different person than what I was 5 years ago.
That's very good. Yeah. From my experience, even my friends, when I started my own transformation, they will say, "Oh yeah, well you have changed. You are not as irritable as you used to be." So, yeah, if you stick to it, you will you will feel the results, but then the people around you will notice that too. So
Yes.
they will
Yeah.
notice it. Yeah.
Yep.
So what does mean living a rich life to your fullest potential look like for you today, and what's your wish for women who are just starting their own wellness or entrepreneurial journey?
I think the most important thing is you have to be happy because like I said, I had a job that was perfect and I wasn't happy in that job. And now the work I'm doing actually lights me up. So I'm really glad that I took that leap, even though I was in my 40s, even though I had a steady job and everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, what are you doing? You're leaving this job to start a coaching business. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to make initially as much money as I was, working. But now over time, um, I'm there and I just feel so much happier. And I think that's the key. Like you can't go around walking like you're in a fog or like a zombie, right? You have to really enjoy what you're doing, no matter what it is. If it's a job, a hobby,
Yes.
Taking care of a loved one, whatever it is, but you have to enjoy it and you have to be grateful for it. And then more shows up.
I absolutely agree with you. I think when you're happy with what you're doing, when you are excited about it, and I'm not saying that we are excited and happy 24/7, because as entrepreneurs, we're coaches, but we are entrepreneurs also. There are moments where we're gonna, the going gets tough, and it's like, oh God, like I kind of feel like giving up when I'm 3 feet from the goal.
Yes.
And we all go through those phases. I have been, in the coaching industry for like 5 years. No, yeah, something like that, 6 years. And I tell you, I don't regret it, even though there are moments when we are at our lowest. But then I know how to rise back, get back on
Yes.
track, and I think it's a normal process, it's part of the journey for entrepreneurs. So,
Yeah.
but in my case, I still lights me up is where I'm at my happiest when I'm doing the work that I do, and I'm sure it's the same for you. And it all everything will fall in together, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's great. That's a good thing, and that's always what I say to my clients. It will all the pieces will fall together, and it will be fine. So yes.
Yes.
Amy, it's been really great listening to your, experience going through all those changes in life and how you have managed to, from being at a job that didn't really make you happy to something that it motivate you to get up every morning and work with other women who are going through what you already went through. So, which is the best. I think we can always help our past version of ourselves when we see it
Yes.
in other people. So I think what you're doing is really good. Is we are in a lot of need of that. Women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. We are really in need of people like you who can help us live a fullest life, a much happier and fullest life. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. And if people want to work with you, they want to reach out to you, where they can find you.
So I'm pretty active on social media. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram at the Wealth of Wellness LLC, and or my website, the wealthofwellness.com. And yeah, reach out, say hi, send me a DM. I'd love to chat with you.
And what about your podcast?
I have a podcast. It's called This Incredible Mom Life. So I have moms who share funny or crazy stories that their kids have put them through. And you'll hear a lot of my stories too.
Yeah, that's great. So for all of you moms who are in your 40s and beyond, you have to listen to Amy's podcast. So Amy, once again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have this little interview and talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed being here.
And if today's episode resonated with you, I would love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another woman entrepreneur who could use a little encouragement and energy boost on her own journey. Until next time,